The music industry at that time, man, what was it like for you inside of the industry? Because we talking about a different time in the game too, man. It was the music that was coming out was fun. You see what I'm saying? We talking about an atmosphere to where in Atlanta, the party was the party. What was it like being a part of that time?
Being in the club, I guess when BMF and all of them was out, was crazy in Atlanta. That was definitely that time was an era that I forever remember, because that was the first time I saw so many black people with so much money.
Yeah.
At such young age, with no understanding of how this came about. You understand what I'm saying? It was like I was in Atlanta, like with my eyes wide, like, man, I'm on the phone with my homeboy, like, bro, they just pulled up to the club and 10 Lamborghinis, bro. It's crazy. I'm serious. Like, we used to seeing one.
Yeah.
Two. Somebody pulled up in one.
Yeah.
Like, but nah, they matched them up outside.
Down the damn street with it.
Yeah. Right now, I feel like everything that's happening right now, it ain't new to me. You understand what I'm saying? But
yeah.
It ain't really nothing new to me. I kept my eyes on what was going on the whole time. I guess if I would have stopped paying attention to music, then right now I feel like we're in a different era. Mm-hmm. But even when I was invested into other businesses, I was still paying attention to everything that was going on in music. You can't forget, to be able to spit like me, you got to be a real fan of this.
Well, see, you a hardcore lyricist in this thing, though, too, man. I mean, so talk about that. What is it that makes you say, you know what, I got the snap on these tracks? Now, it might be a party song, but I'm going to come in this thing and I'm snapping.
I mean, because the label used to try to make me dumb my flow down.
Break that down to me.
They used to try to make me rap in a more simpler manner.
So, when you say that, who is the person, you ain't got to name the exact name, but who would be the person that would come in there and say, hey, man, this is too damn smart?
The CEOs. I don't know the label.
My God. And what is that like for you when you thinking, I ain't no dummy, I ain't trying to make dummy music?
That's why on the A Bay Bay remix, I rapped as fast and aggressive as I could. Just went crazy to where every other rapper that came in there, they said, hey, I thought we were supposed to rap like this. I would say, see, they told them that too, bro. That's why I did what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
They doing it to everybody.
My God. What is it like being an independent thinker in this game, though, Chris? Because, see, when you ain't going along to get along all the time, you're going to find yourself pissing everybody off. So what was that like for you saying, you know what, I'm going to do what I want to do in here. I'm not going to follow everybody. I'm not going to follow y'all lead. I'm trying to do me in this thing.
I mean, I decided to do that, and when I decided to do that, that's when me and the record label parted ways. I told them, hey, this how I feel about everything that's going on with my project.
Yeah.
And I ain't happy with what's going on, and they took it how they took it, and that was the end of our relationship. My CEO got so mad at me, he told me, I make it to where you ain't on 106 and Park no more. Cause I'm telling people that the album delayed and I'm frustrated with what's going on. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
What is that like when you got these fans waiting on the next project, though, man, and you going through that stuff with the label, and you think to yourself, I want to give them, because your fans, they love you. They're like, Chris, where that damn music at, man? I love you.
As a kid, you're not thinking like that. That's how an adult would think, to balance everything out and make sure everybody got what they need. The fans got what they need. I'm handling my business. That's not how a kid think. Mm-hmm. A kid is like, somebody offended me.
Fuck 'em.
That's how, and I'm mad about the way they offended me. And I might be willing to say forget the money and everything because I'm a kid.
Yeah. That 2020 hindsight vision, man. What would Chris do differently?
What I would do is, as soon as my CEO told me I'd make it to where you ain't on 106 in Park next year, I would have called a lawyer and told him that he just threatened to sabotage my career when I had paperwork for to further my career. I would have legally been able to prove that he was trying to sabotage my career and go against the contract that I signed, purposely voiding the contract, not by default or a problem that happened or something that I did that I wasn't supposed to do. You understand what I'm saying? So I would have sued him. And he signed me to a management contract as well and did management with me. That was a conflict of interest. I would have sued for that as well. You know what I'm saying? I signed before I was 18. I would have sued for if I knew, you know what I'm saying, that they wasn't supposed to sign me before I was 18. But I ended up signing another contract after I turned 18 because they know they wasn't supposed to sign a minor. I didn't even have a lawyer present when I signed my first contract with them. When I signed a second contract with them, their lawyer was present. That was a conflict of interest. So I know business now.
Yeah.
And I press the issue now. If anything feel like it's anything of the past.
What advice do you got for other artists then, Chris, coming into the game and then them knowing, are those types of things something that all artists have to experience, man?
Nah, you gotta experience with good people. You won't have to experience nothing like that. Nobody. You think I would tell a 16-year-old kid with my 30, 40-year-old ass, I make it to where you ain't successful? You gotta be this a cursing show?
Say what you feel.
You gotta be a bitch ass nigga to say something like that. Excuse my language. To a kid, come on, bro. Even if a kid get in his worst feelings with me, I would never tell him that I'm gonna try to hurt his future or nothing like that.
Yeah.
You better sit down somewhere for I spank you on your behind, boy. Hey, boy, you talking like an adult. Do you want to get treated like an adult? Something like that to put you in your place, because I know how important my kid is to me. And I know what I would never want nobody to do to my kid. If I wasn't here and my kid got out of line or did anything, I would want you to sit my son down and talk to him and try to teach him. Do me that. You understand what I'm saying? Because as a man, that's what I should try to do, black man. If I saw your son. See, I come from the country where the neighbors chastised us.
Everybody.
If our mama wasn't there. So you understand what I'm saying? That's the type of love that I'm used to. So I'm willing to vent out to you how I feel, because I'm expecting you to be real enough to accept me venting out how I feel. Not knowing you got people who ego so small, who ain't half a man, who ain't a big enough of a man to accept you telling them nothing about themselves. Tell me something about myself. I'm willing to sit here and debate with you. I want to see why another man feel like this about me. It ain't me make a chess move to try to shut you up or shut you down. I don't want another man to even walk off with a feeling of me like this. That means you don't care about how you looked at the character. You know what I'm saying? Like, none of that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, people care about money, bro, and succeeding and moving on with their life and they personal problems that they got. You understand what I'm saying? I got personal problems myself, but I'm always an empath to somebody else's pain that's around me. It only gets to a certain extent to where, okay, let me hear out what's going on with you. I got people who owe me big money, real deal big money. You understand what I'm saying? And if it was a certain situation and they needed me, I'm answering the phone for them right now, even though I don't want to talk to them because they owe me real deal money. But they kids, I don't never want to see their kids in a bad situation. So if I heard that it was a situation where it was serious, I would be there to support them however I could support them. And we'll talk about it. You know what you did was wrong back in the gap, boy. I ain't tripping, boy. You know how you did me. I'm just trying to make sure you straight. We ain't got to talk about it. Nothing. You know, it's a difference between real and fake. You know? You gotta walk it.
With that hindsight being 2020, have you ever been able to get back with those people and talk about that stuff to them and say, hey, man, there was some bullshit we had going on back then?
Oh, yeah.
And what was that conversation like?
The conversation was no response. It was like, yeah, okay. It was no response, period. It was, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? And then I go into the details. Hey, man, you know, this is how I really, you know, man, this we could have got off on a, I apologize if you feel like this, but I feel like this should have really went like, wasn't even man enough to go into details and say, all right, let's have a conversation about this. You're a grown man who feel a certain way about another grown man. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, hey, I ain't a kid. I'm grown. I'm looking at this through adult eyes. I'm a man who feel a certain way. You understand what I'm saying? But you know, like I just said, certain people got different types of pride. Some people ain't gonna let you pull them to the side and tell them nothing because they pride too high and almighty. They will make sure you can't never tell them nothing like that again. Yeah. I'm a regular man. You understand what I'm saying? If my tire pop on my car, I'm gonna hop out and fix the flat.
Thanks.
That mean I'm gonna do what it take to make sure we carry on and keep moving. You understand what I'm saying? You could say terrible things about somebody at they I don't like to say this, but you know what I'm saying? If you had to speak on somebody's behalf, you could say the worst things, but you should always be able to say, but you know, he always said what he meant. And you know, I respect those type of people. The people who might say the wrong thing sometimes, but they're at least man enough to want to be understood and be seen in a decent light.
Yeah, I feel that. With that being said, Chris, because see, I feel your pain with that, man. I mean, for you in this music industry, was it a love-hate situation to where it was like, I should be loving this, but I hate it?
I ain't never hated the industry. I just felt like the people that I did business with wasn't hell bent on making sure that my everything was secure. And at the end of the day, like I say, I may have made mistakes as well. Mistakes as well. But what I know is if I had a business of taking people's actual young kids that's 13, 14, and 15 all around the world and building money for my company, I would owe some type of understanding to that situation. And then to put ice cream on top of the cake, when I came to my situation, I was the first artist on a label to pop. He went and got a bag from a major and didn't have no hit single, didn't have nothing popping. I came over there, was cold ice. You understand what I'm saying? Cold. You understand what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Hey, baby, my record is what made everybody be able to relax. When I walked in the door, staff members were saying, thank God we was finna lose our job. That's on God.
What does a hit record do for you and for a label, man? What does that do?
For me, a hit record, it allow you to two things. Become financially stable if you position yourself right and monetize it right. And number two, make a brand of yourself to be able to step out and use that brand to make money in a million different ways. Once the world know the name, you can sell a vacuum cleaner. It don't matter what it is. You dig what I'm saying?
Those are facts.
I bet you right now, if Sony make whatever, it don't have to be computer stuff. Sony make a car, they going to get it.
Facts.
Feel what I'm saying?
Apple car on the way.
The brand is big.
Yeah.
They can make whatever.